At 4 a.m. Tracking storms where you live. Channel 4's Pinpoint Weather is working for you.
Violence at an immigration rally. Tonight, the LAPD is investigating, did police officers use excessive force? Sticker shock tonight for gas and groceries. What's fueling it on both fronts? Our special series, Trading Places, single children taking care of elderly parents, and many are wondering who will care for them. And as America goes green, tonight how one company is brewing profits and managing to protect the earth.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. Last night here we showed you the aerial pictures, the sea of people in several different American cities marching outdoors to protest U.S. immigration policy and the slow pace of change. But it was toward the end of the day when things took an awful turn in Los Angeles. It may have started when police got pelted by outsiders in the crowd. It ended, however, with injuries and with police firing weapons at the crowd. Tonight, an official investigation is underway. The tensions have not gone away, and city officials there may have a lot of explaining yet to do. We begin here tonight with NBC's Peter Alexander, where this all started in MacArthur Park in downtown Los Angeles. Peter, good evening.
Brian, good evening to you. This is exactly where that clash took place. And after a day of demonstrations that most people described as both peaceful and positive, it turned violent. The May Day march turned into a melee. After a day of peaceful immigration protests, a few thousand demonstrators had gathered in a downtown Los Angeles park. Authorities say several people in the crowd threw rocks and bottles at officers. Police in riot gear responded, firing foam bullets and using batons to disperse the crowd.
Move her back, you're under arrest.
You can't do that. You cannot do that. This is a public park. We have the right to be here.
This man, hit by 2 rubber bullets, said, "I don't care if they kill me." Another man cradled his child. And on the ground, on his knees, documenting it all, Juan Guerra, a photographer for NBC's Spanish language network Telemundo. Police kicked him. And as their line advanced, another officer grabbed his camera and threw it. Meanwhile, Telemundo's national newscast was broadcasting live. Anchorman Pedro Sevsek was getting ready to go on the air.
1 minute I was live, and the next minute I was running for my life. And suddenly, I got a police officer pointing one of those shotguns at my face.
Was this just clearly a case of excessive force?
It was excessive force. They basically hit women, children, and journalists.
Police Chief William Bratton today canceled a trip to Central America to deal with the fallout, calling some officers' actions inappropriate.
I share the understandable concern and frustration of all of you that once again the department, its members, and the community are involved in such a troubling event.
Among those injured, about a dozen officers and 10 civilians. A day designed to focus on immigrants' rights, now overshadowed by the controversial actions of Los Angeles police. At least 9 people were arrested by LAPD, and the Los Angeles City Council tonight, Brian, is demanding a full review and report of exactly what happened here within 30 days.
Those are some tough pictures to watch. Peter Alexander tonight, where as we said, they may have a lot of explaining to do in Los Angeles. Now to Washington, where this was really the day after the president vetoed the Iraq war bill. Congress tried but failed to override his veto on an Iraq war spending bill with timelines for troop withdrawal attached. The vote wasn't close, but they are talking about where to from here. NBC's Chip Reed is with us tonight from Washington. Chip, good evening.
Well, good evening, Brian. Democrats knew they didn't have the votes to override the president's veto, but they decided to try anyway. And after they failed, an extraordinary thing happened. The tone of debate in Washington suddenly changed.
On the floor of the House today, signs of compromise were nowhere to be found.
Now into the 5th year of a failed policy, This administration should get a clue. It's not working.
Democrats defended their timetable for pulling the troops out of Iraq, while Republicans said that would be nothing less than surrender.
What do you think Al-Qaeda is thinking right now? They're waiting for us to get out so they can focus all their attention on the United States and our allies.
In the end, the vote surprised no one.
The yeas are 222, the nays are 203. With one
Democrats falling far short of the two-thirds needed to override the president's veto.
The bill is not passed.
But a short time later at the White House, a dramatic change of tone.
Today's a day where we can work together to find common ground.
After just a half-hour meeting, both sides were reading from the same page.
I think there's a way for us to work together to try to find common ground.
Whatever our differences, we owe it to the American people to find our common ground.
In fact, members of both parties say they're already hard at work on a compromise. One possibility, Democrats would drop their demand for a timetable, at least for now, and Republicans would accept benchmarks or goals for the Iraqi government to meet. For example, reducing sectarian violence, stabilizing the government, and making progress on the economy.
Now, Democratic leaders say they are still determined to find some way to force the president to change course in Iraq. But for now, they say they have no choice but to try to work out some kind of compromise on funding, because they have repeatedly promised not to cut off funds for troops in the field. Brian?
Chip Reed on the Hill in Washington for us tonight. Chip, thanks. We have more tonight on the subject of spending, but this has to do with the American household budget. Tonight, in the state of California alone, gasoline is now at an all-time record high price per gallon. And food prices are rising sharply these days, and it turns out there is an important link between the two. We have two reports tonight, beginning with the high cost of our national auto addiction. George Lewis stands by with that from Los Angeles tonight. George, good evening.
Good evening to you, Brian. Gasoline hit an all-time record high in Los Angeles today, averaging $3.41 a gallon, according to the Auto Club, and the rest of the nation is not far behind. It's a daily routine now. Gas stations posting price hikes. The national average for regular is up more than a cent from yesterday, up 31 cents from last month. And how high could it go?
Anything can happen this summer. I mean, right now the path we're on is a path towards record high prices, maybe even $4 a gallon.
Energy experts say accidents at refineries and a shortage of refining capacity are big factors driving the price hikes. So, are people changing their driving habits? Californian Cesar Casasola says he's saving money by riding his motorcycle to work instead of his car.
Fill up my motorcycle is $12. To fill it up my car will be $50. So it's almost the difference, like $40 a week.
He's the exception. Researchers say that across the country, drivers are not overcoming their addiction to gasoline in spite of high prices.
We find that average fuel economy today from 2000 to 2005 was flat despite a 70% increase in gas prices.
In Chicago, florist Joe Yera says the cost of filling up his delivery trucks is hurting his bottom line.
10-15% more of the business of our profits.
He's had to raise delivery charges to make up the difference, something his customers hate.
They're upset with it, like we all are.
And there's no question people are upset.
I think gas prices are outrageous.
And likely to get worse as the country heads into the summer driving season. This is George Lewis in Los Angeles. Now to my colleague, Ann Thompson.
I'm Ann Thompson. America's cornfields today are fields of gold, as the nation's effort to go green with ethanol drives up corn prices. The cost of a bushel jumping 61% in the past year, as more than 2 billion bushels go from food to fuel. The impact rippling across the nation's grocery aisles.
Once he goes on milk, in a couple more months, that's going to be very expensive then, because he'll go through gallons a week.
Iowa State economist Bruce Babcock estimates the rush for ethanol will raise the average consumer's food bill $50 over the next 2 years, $200 for a family of 4. Why? Corn is a key ingredient in our food supply.
Corn is in almost everything that we eat in the United States, with the exception of fruits and vegetables.
Corn is used as a starch and sweetener in cookies and granola bars. Soft drinks are flavored with corn syrup. Corn feeds the chickens that lay eggs, the cows that produce milk, and the pigs that become pork chops. Here at the supermarket, it's 3 price increases and counting for poultry producer Tyson Foods. Certain Kellogg's cereals cost more, and in New York, a gallon of whole milk is up more than 30 cents over last year. All because prices are up on the farm. These cows are headed to a feedlot to fatten up on corn. Feed that Texas rancher Pete Bond says has almost doubled in price.
We have never seen corn go up to this magnitude.
Ethanol, touted to save the environment, now taking a bite out of America's food budget. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
There is medical news to report tonight. It's about antidepressants. You may know that the FDA already requires its most serious warning on the label, a so-called black box warning about the possible suicide risk for children and adolescents. Tonight, the warning is being expanded for patients ages 18 to 24, raising new questions not only about the drugs, but about the warnings themselves now. We've asked our chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell, to help sort it all out. And Bob, first off, the language of the warning, what does this mean?
Well, Brian, this is all about a rare side effect of these antidepressant drugs. Previous studies have shown that occasionally children, when they start taking the drugs, can have increased thoughts about suicide. Now, new studies show that that can also happen with young adults, and that's the reason for the label change. But the new label also points out that depression is the most common cause of suicide, and these drugs are very good at eliminating the depression, so most psychiatrists think they do far more good than harm.
And Bob, how is it that antidepressant use is down and sadly the suicide rate is up?
Well, that's exactly the point, because we've been having this discussion in this country about this rare side effect of these antidepressants for several years now, and that's made a lot of people think twice about using them. And that's why psychiatrists, for the most part, think that we should get rid of these warnings, because the point is to get doctors to monitor patients closely, not to keep people who are severely depressed from getting the help they need.
All right, Robert Bazell here with us in our New York studios tonight. Thanks. When Nightly News continues after a break this Wednesday night, new proof tonight that what you buy isn't always what you think it is, and how that is hurting a small American town. And later, our special series, America Goes Green, and a new way to feel good about enjoying that cold one.
Holes. The advanced technology behind Tylenol Rapid Release Gels. Laser drill design for rapid release.
Presenting Miracle Grow Liquifeed, the only garden feeder that works with ready-to-use liquid Miracle Grow. It's a revolutionary way to grow a great garden. Liquifeed makes feeding as easy as watering. No measuring, mixing, or guessing. Just attach, insert, and feed. Plants get the perfect balance of water and nutrients to grow twice as big. Now, nothing can hold you or your garden back. Liquifeed from Miracle Grow.
We want a place that's all about the kids.
Well, maybe not all about the kids.
Find your perfect place at RE/MAX.com. RE/MAX.com shows you all the listings in thousands of cities and towns. See all the listings. Visit RE/MAX.com today.
When you're constipated, harsh stimulant laxatives can cause cramps. And cramps can give you a bad day. Philips caplets don't have harsh stimulants, so you get relief overnight without cramps. Relief feels better with Philips.
What ages you most? Dullness, brown spots, and wrinkles. Retaliate. New Definity UV Foam fights the look of what really ages you. Dullness, brown spots, and wrinkles. For luminous, highly defined skin. New Olay Definity.
We are back now with NBC News In Depth. Tonight, an all-American brand that is fired up over fakes. Zippo lighters have been manufactured in the same small Pennsylvania town for 75 years. They're famous for having that flame that's almost impossible to extinguish, but these days, the folks at Zippo are worried about being snuffed out from overseas. The problem is counterfeit products from China, and it's not just their business. This is the subject of the news magazine Business Nation tonight on CNBC. We get a preview from correspondent Scott Wapner.
In the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou, officials raid a wholesaler of counterfeit lighters, seizing almost 2,000 fake Zippos. Though this home video is shaky, to Zippo, the impact of counterfeiting is crystal clear.
This is costing you a lot of money.
A lot of money. A lot of money.
George Duke is Zippo's chairman and grandson of the company's founder. He estimates sales would be 25% higher if it weren't for Chinese knockoffs.
It's very heart-wrenching.
Counterfeiting hasn't only cost Zippo money, but jobs. Last year, the company laid off 120 workers, or 15% of its workforce. Tracy Burgess went without work for 3 months when Zippo's sales dropped.
In some ways, it cost you your job for a little bit.
It made me really angry because this is our livelihood.
For blue-collar Bradford, Pennsylvania, where Zippo is the largest employer, the Chinese threat hits hard.
Being in a small community like this, when we have to lay somebody off, it really hurts a lot.
And Zippo's not the only company being ripped off. U.S. Customs routinely stops Chinese fakes of all kinds at the border.
We're talking about auto parts, we're talking about pharmaceutical products, we're talking about DVDs, CDs.
Can you give us a sense of what this costs American business, the issue of Chinese counterfeiting?
You know, you're probably talking $250, $300 billion a year.
And the cost isn't just from lost sales. Zippo had to hire private investigators inside China to root out illegal operations.
We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month to protect something we already own. It's like going home at night, going to your home that you own, but being charged $10,000 to go into the home you own. It just doesn't make sense.
One company, one town, battling an elusive enemy. Scott Wapner, CNBC, Bradford, Pennsylvania.
By the way, you can see more tonight in its entirety. That's CNBC's Business Nation at 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Up next after a break in our ongoing series, Trading Places, Caring for the Elderly, what to do when there are no children to help.
Are you like me? I have high blood pressure and I have high cholesterol. Sometimes problems come in twos, but sometimes help can come in one. Catawit.
Catawit contains the leading branded blood pressure medicine Norvasc and Lipitor, the leading branded cholesterol medicine combined in one pill, Catawit.
Catawit is one of many treatment options I discussed with my doctor. Ask your doctor if Catawit's right for you. Along with diet and exercise, one pill doing two jobs for me. My doctor said Catawit's not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. For blood pressure and cholesterol lowering benefits, it's Catawit. One pill, two medicines. Makes sense to you, makes sense to me. Ask your doctor if Catawit's right for you.
Enjoy the food you want with a tight seal from Fixodent Control.
Here's to a healthy heart and all the wonderful feelings that come along with it. Introducing Benefiber Plus B vitamins and folic acid. The only clear, tasteless fiber with the added benefit of heart-healthy B vitamins in every sip, so you can feel great inside and out. New Benefiber Plus heart-healthy B vitamins improve the fiber of your being. Also available in easy-to-take caplets.
Did you know kittens need food high in nutrients and protein like mother's milk? Feed them Purina Kitten Chow nurturing formula. Physical, emotional, complete. That's the Purina Cat Chow way of life.
The 2007 Lincoln MKZ. With a powerful new 3.5-liter engine and available all-wheel drive, it'll take you on the ride of your life.
My dream is to ditch the corner office, even if it's just for the weekend.
Life's calling. Where to next?
Many of you may remember a special series of reports we launched here on Nightly News this past February called Trading Places, about the challenging role reversal facing so many Americans these days, caring for the parents and loved ones who once cared for us. We received an astonishing number of letters and emails, among them this one. It reads, "I am a 63-year-old female, healthy, single, with no children. Who cares for folks like me as we age?" Well, that's a dilemma facing a growing number of adults without children, as we hear now from our chief medical editor, Dr. Nancy Snyderman.
Hi, it's Barbara.
Barbara Meltzer is a busy professional.
Meryl?
In her 60s, she is unmarried, has never had children, and as she gets older, she fears that puts her in quite a predicament.
I realize that I don't have anybody to help me.
And as a caregiver to her 90-year-old mother, Barbara knows just how important help can be.
My mother calls me a lot. Sometimes it's just to say hello, but I am there. I am always there.
Barbara's fear is that there will be no one like her when her time comes.
I look at my mom and I see the possibilities of my future. Okay.
I
am looking at one of my great fears. Have something to drink.
But her situation is not as atypical as you might think.
More and more baby boomers are childless, and so they are facing old age without really a family to care for them.
In 1984, the percent of childless women ages 40 to 44 was 11.1%. 20 years later, it's risen to 19.3%, and it's still going up.
And that's going to have a tremendous impact and be an entirely different situation that the situation our parents faced when they got old.
Plan ahead, experts say. First and foremost, stay healthy, and that's both in body and mind. Check your finances and start saving now. Find community resources before you need them. Barbara is doing all of those things, but she still worries about what the future will hold.
Who's going to help me? Who is going to be my voice?
Demographers tell us that the increasing number of childless couples means that more people like Barbara are going to have to turn to outside sources, outside of the family, for help. And Brian, I think that's just one more uncertainty for a lot of people in their 50s and 60s now who sort of thought that perhaps someone would be there for them.
And we'll keep covering it and coming up with solutions.
Yes.
Nancy, thanks. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, Brian.
Former First Lady Nancy Reagan has announced she will attend tomorrow night's first-of-its-kind Republican presidential debate at the Reagan Library in California. It will, by the way, be the first time all 10 GOP-declared candidates will appear together. MSNBC will air the event live at 8 Eastern Time and again at 8 Pacific Time. I'll be right back with a story that brings new meaning perhaps to the term green beer, though it is part of our series on saving the environment.
So I'm here with George, and let me ask you this. Was it heavy lifting that beam?
Oh, yeah. It hurts sometimes.
I bet, man. Seems to be our lower back that ends up having all the pain. You ever just get stuck?
Oh, yeah. Been there a number of times.
So what do you do when you get stuck?
I take a Bayer and a punch ticket.
Upright is good.
Upright is very good.
Bayer aspirin. Painkiller, lifesaver. Bayer aspirin. Expect wonders.
And for tough muscle and back pain, try Bayer Back and Body.
Extra bacon, no lettuce, no tomato.
That's me.
Could have had a V8. 100% vegetable juice with 3 of your daily vegetable servings in every little bottle.
It's 30 shrimp at Red Lobster. Mix and match your 2 favorites like decadent scampi, creamy pasta, hand-breaded, or try new savory garlic grilled shrimp. It's 30 shrimp for $12.99, only at Red Lobster.
Start living life instead of sweating it. Introducing new Secret Clinical Strength. Now you can get prescription strength wetness protection without a prescription. Secret, strong, like a woman.
Now you can choose your perfect summer radiance. New Aveeno Continuous Radiance Lotion lets you customize your color with dial technology. The soy formula and a gradual color booster enhance your natural skin tone.
Get summer radiant skin anytime.
New Continuous Radiance.
Did you know kittens need food high in nutrients and protein like mother's milk? Feed them Purina Kitten Chow nurturing formula. Physical, emotional, complete. That's the Purina Cat Chow way of life.
Spend every Saturday night with the nut that tastes famously fresh. Planters. Put out the good stuff.
Smart Balance Buttery Spread. See if you agree with us that Smart Balance cooks like butter and tastes like butter without the cholesterol and high saturated fat, with no hydrogenated oil and no trans fat naturally, not artificially as some spreads. Smart Balance has the right balance of fats to help improve cholesterol as part of the Smart Balance food plan, with award-winning taste endorsed by professional chefs. Smart Balance. You're going to love that buttery taste.
Wake up early with Channel 4 News today. Get the Channel 4 Pinpoint Forecast first, the local weather you need before you leave.
Together with traffic solutions that'll make sure you get to where you're going fast.
Channel 4 News today, working for you every weekday starting at 4 a.m. Tracking storms where you live. Channel 4's Pinpoint Weather is working for you.
Now to our series here, America Goes Green. This may be the prime of a new kind of environmental movement, the second in as many generations. It is taking hold right now in American homes and in businesses, where they're realizing there's a way to cut costs while cutting down on the damage to the planet that we all have to share after all. Tonight, how it's come to a head in one particular line of work. Here's NBC's Jennifer London.
At the New Belgium Brewery, it's time to raise a glass for beer brewed with a conscience.
Sustainability is at the core of what we do.
Kim Jordan is co-founder of New Belgium. When she and her husband Jeff first started brewing beer in their basement back in 1991, they set a few ground rules.
Having fun, brewing world-class beer, promoting beer culture, and being environmental stewards.
300 employees, and 16 years later, New Belgium is the nation's third largest mid-sized brewery, and its corporate soul is still very much intact. Success here is about more than just the bottom line. It's also about the 3 R's. Reduce.
This kettle uses 65% less energy than your standard brew kettle.
Reuse.
Having our spent grain going to a local cattle farmer.
And recycle.
We have a 98% landfill diversion rate.
Perhaps most surprising, turning wastewater into energy.
We have bacteria that are doing the cleaning of the wastewater. They're consuming the pollutants in the wastewater, giving off methane-rich biogas.
The methane gas is then used to produce 15% of the brewery's electricity needs. The rest comes from wind. New Belgium saves $3,000 a month on electricity bills while reducing CO2 emissions by 8 million pounds a year. The largest single ingredient in beer is water, and as part of its commitment to conservation, New Belgium uses 50% less than the industry average. And that's not all. Desks are made from old FedEx tubes. The building itself, constructed from reclaimed timber, and solar tubes like the warehouse.
We do what we do in terms of environmental best business practice because it's deeply meaningful to us.
And their customers, proving profits can be in good taste with nurturing Mother Nature. Jennifer London, NBC News, Fort Collins, Colorado.
That's our broadcast for this Wednesday night. Thank you for being with us. I'm Brian Williams. We'll look for you right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
Tonight on Channel 4 News, a white nightclub owner says he's the target of race discrimination. Hear the story and decide. A school crossing guard busted, and property tax relief for some of us. Are you on the list?
You're watching Channel 4 News, working for you.
Good evening. Welcome to Channel 4 News at 6.
The owner of a controversial downtown club says he is being unfairly targeted because he caters to black customers. Police say it's because of the 4 people who were shot in front of the Club Mystic over the weekend and all the other calls they've had to answer. Our helicopter, Air 4, gave us a good look at the Club Mystic on 2nd Avenue, the city's family-friendly tourist district. Channel 4's Catherine Campbell is live on 2nd Avenue with details for us. Catherine.
Well, Sunday night, 4 people were shot here at the intersection of 2nd and Church. Police say one of the victims was a woman who was just walking down the street. They say the 3 others were teens who were leaving Club Mystic, which is located just about 5 doors down here on 2nd Avenue.
Thank you also for coming here today.
Jimmy Brooks is the owner of Club Mystic. He says the police department is blaming him and his club for the violence